Hello, everyone. I think we are live. How's everyone doing? Happy Thursday. I am excited to be talking to you all today about ways to unplug because I don't know about you, but my Thursday has been crazy already. So it feels very timely for me to talk about this, and I hope it does for you too. So, for those of you that are new to the group or haven't got a chance to check out a lot about me, I am a financial coach, and I help mainly women business owners, but really any business owners, to overcome money mindset blocks, to organize finances, to increase pricing, and really just streamline and automate systems so that you can be making more money in less time, which is, I think, what all of us would love to see in our businesses. So I help you get there. So I am excited today to talk about ways to unplug because I feel like, I don't know about you, but for me at least, I feel like everything I read isn't really realistic for entrepreneurs. So a lot of the things you read about like how to relax or how to step away from work, and it just it's really hard when you own your own business because you can't completely just put your head in the sand and just forget about your work, right? But there are ways and things that we can do that will help, and it's crucial because entrepreneurs typically don't go and take a minute to slow down. We're go, go, go. We have ideas all the time. We have things we want to implement all the time. We have obligations or networking fun things that aren't obligations, but fun things we like to do. So you might wonder, how can I possibly balance all of these responsibilities, all of these tasks, all of my passions, but still have time for myself to just disconnect from the world and reconnect with yourself. So that's what we're going to talk about today because it's crucial. If you don't find ways to do it, that's what leads to burnout for a lot of entrepreneurs. That's what leads to ultimately feeling like your business is a strain on you rather than, it fulfilling that void that perhaps previously you had when you were in the corporate world or worked for somebody else. It also makes your passion feel not like a passion anymore if you're just overwhelmed and you've hit that like burnout stage. So it's important that we alleviate some of that stress if you're already there, and if you're not there yet, that you're proactively working and taking steps so that you don't hit that burnout spot. Okay, so that's what we're talking about today. Psyched for it. Hey, Sarah. Hello, hello. So glad you're here. Join. Yeah, pop a comment in there. Let me know where you're from. I feel like that's such a cool thing. Lately, I'm like loving the fact that my clients and our community, it's like from all over, and I really just love that. So let me know where you're from. Something about you, about your business, whatever. Drop it in the comments. If you're watching this on replay, just write replay and tell me where you're from. Tell me about your business, all that stuff in the comments. I love it. I love it. I love watching all that stuff later too. I'm a nerd. Okay, so let's just hop into it. So I have chosen for today, I've chosen like my 12 favorite, because there are lots of ways you can disconnect realistically, right? So, but I'm choosing my 12 favorite that I think are the best in order to recharge and really combat the stress that building a business creates, because it's a different kind of stress than perhaps somebody that isn't building a business but has their own personal life stressors. So I feel like even with your crazy lifestyle or schedule, these are all applicable, or most should be applicable to all of you. Awesome. Oh, Pembroke, Ontario, Canada. Oh my gosh. Oh, so cool. I wonder what time is it there. I should be really better at geography. I feel like you're just right above me. I feel like you're Eastern time, right? Okay, let me know. My husband always makes fun of me because I'm so bad at geography. It's like next level bad. Like we at one point before we had kids in our first house, he got me one of those like shower curtains with like a map of the world for the inside of the shower, so I could just like study it as I like shower. Anyways, it didn't really work. I didn't learn much, but it was interesting. I think, is that Eastern time zone? Let me know. Anyways, okay, so let's hop into the 12. Okay, and in like alignment with today's topic, I'm going to kind of have a short live today because I want you to be able to take these, implement them, but not feel like this is just one more thing on your busy schedule today. All right. Hey, Kiana. Hello, hello. Okay, yes. So the first one, or the first thing I want to like kind of say that's important when we are recharging, is that we need to start with small changes, because small changes mean that they're sustainable. It means that they're not adding any mental overwhelm or drama. And it's more likely that they're going to help your day and help your stress level versus just adding another task to do. Okay. I want you to, the second one is trust your strong team that you have built, if you have a team, okay? That's hard for a lot of people. I know I'm one of those people. I'm kind of a bit of a perfectionist. I am. I've worked on it. I'm better. But it's hard sometimes to trust others to really like take the helm for you. If you have a team, trust them. Put your trust in them. Learn how to trust them. You might have to actually like read some tactics for how to develop those kind of leadership qualities where you can trust, you can delegate and then trust that it will be done. Or if you don't have a team, you can always find someone trustworthy, a person that can ask as like your second in command, or someone that you can kind of lean on. Because when you own your own business, if you don't have employees, it can feel kind of like a lonely place. So it's important, whether that be another entrepreneur that you guys just like chat with each other and give each other motivation or inspiration, or if that's someone in your industry that like if you feel overwhelmed with someone that you can rely on, that you feel like they're a trustworthy person that can help ease some of your stress. Okay? But you need to trust in those people. And trust is hard. And trust is the type of thing too that if you've been burned, it's even harder to get it, to build it, right? So that could be a whole nother live. All right, the third one is to set your working schedule. Okay, this is really important. What is your working schedule? So many of my clients, I'm shocked if I say like, what's your work schedule? Or how many hours do you work in the week? Like specifically, like on Monday, what are the hours you're working? And they can't tell me because it's like when you're an entrepreneur, you're not showing up at some office. You're not like, oh, I have to be there 9 to 5. But there's something good about knowing when your work business clock has to click on and when you can click it off. Okay? And not like you can ever fully click it off as an entrepreneur because, you always have to have the pulse of your business, but you really want to set a working schedule and stick to it as much as you can. And it can change. That is the beauty of working for yourself. Like you don't have to be rigid with it, but you want to have at least like a baseline or like a skeletal outline of what your work schedule is. And that will actually help to decrease stress. And then within that working schedule, you want to work with breaks. A lot of times like a physical break, and I'll have another kind of suggestions for that, but that can be helpful. You want to make sure that the physical space around you is conducive to taking a break and like fully taking a break. So that if you're telling yourself, oh, I'm going to take a 15-minute break, you're not, oh, I see over here somebody texted me, oh, that's about work. And then there goes that break, right? So one technique that I've talked about before that I love is the Pomodoro technique, which is just like a time I call it a time chunking technique or time blocking technique, where really that you're working for intervals of time. It's usually 25 minutes, but you can do what you choose. And then you're setting the amount of time that you're taking that break. And I think that's really important. So you have your set work schedule, right? And then within that schedule, you have your time blocking with breaks in there. That really does help prevent burnout. It's crucial, okay? Number 4, planning and organizing your time so that you're efficient. And this kind of goes with the Pomodoro technique. But planning your time also means what tasks are you going to be doing. And I want to caution you, I don't just mean like some just big laundry list of to-do, a to-do list. That is good. I mean, we have them, right? I have them in life, but those are overwhelming in itself. I mean, that could cause burnout just by looking at it. I mean, like, okay, Monday from 9 to 9:45 a.m., I'm going to be scheduling my social media posts, right? And then what that does is not only like mentally does it help you get into that zone, not only is the product or the content that you're going to be posting, it's going to be better because studies show that you're not multitasking. You're going to have a better product at the end, but also you're way more efficient. Okay, so what that's going to do is you have your set work schedule, you have the breaks in there, and now you're very planned and organized about how you're using that work time. And again, all these things are going to allow you to have the time to unplug. So it seems kind of like counterintuitive. Like, okay, you're telling me how to be plugged in. Well, yes, because if you're not fully plugged in, then you're kind of always just like hanging out. I'm actually picturing like an outlet right now. Like if you're not like fully in and fully out, you're kind of just like teetering and like you're not getting any good electricity from that, right? Like that light bulb's not going on. But maybe it's draining a little bit from the outlet. I don't know. My husband would totally know that. Okay. Number 5 is to create your non-negotiables. Okay. I think non-negotiables or boundaries, very similar, are important in your personal life, but also in our work life. And a lot of times we don't think of those. So for instance, my non-negotiable might be that I am not going to take a work call on the weekend, right? I'm not going to schedule a call on the weekend. And that actually is one of my non-negotiables, like in my Calendly link. I don't have any weekend blocks, okay? The weekends are for me to decompress. The weekends are for me to spend time with my family. And the minute if I started to say like, oh, well, this person can't find a time this week, so maybe if I just do like a Saturday at 4 and it's just a Saturday, the minute you start to do that, it's such a slippery slope. And now you have made it so that your brain can't shut off. You're not getting the proper time to recharge, and you're going to hit burnout. Okay, so I think it's really important, your non-negotiables. Another non-negotiable could be something like, so as a coach, I have certain days that I coach in my schedule, and then certain days that I'm working, but it's not coaching hours. And that's kind of a non-negotiable for me, because I need a very different headspace, to be in a different headspace and mindset the days I'm coaching than the days I'm posting content, or the days that, I'm doing tech type stuff. So that's a non-negotiable for me. You might have another one. So a boundary I have, or a non-negotiable that I've had to create with myself, because I enjoy networking events, but I also have this like guilt if I don't go. Not so much a FOMO, like some people have FOMO, but more this like, oh, I should get there. I should, right? So I made another kind of non-negotiable for myself where I say, okay, I'll allow myself to go to 2 in-person networking events per month. And that's it. That's it. If I've gone to my 2 and something else comes up and it's like, ooh, I would have liked, unless it's like something that's clearly, hugely income generating, like no brainer, I'm going to tell myself no, because I've hit my 2. And I know that once I go past that, that's when I start to hit burnout. That's when things suffer in other aspects of my life. I'm more impatient with my kids. My husband gets a little frustrated, right? My sleep suffers. So I know, and I've created that boundary, and I need to stick to it. Okay. And that being said, it's important to remove any temptations. So if you make a boundary of, let me think of another boundary. I'm only going to check my email 5 times a day, which is something I do recommend, 3 to 5 times a day, set times. If you give yourself that non-negotiable, so then you want to remove temptations. For instance, on your phone, you want it to be like you have to, what's it called? It doesn't auto refresh your email, but you make it like manual. You have to manual refresh, because if it's going to auto refresh, now you have temptations. You're going to make it so that you don't have the little pop-ups, right? The little notifications every time you get an email, because that's a temptation. So you're creating the non-negotiables or boundaries, and you're removing the temptations that would get in your way, or make you kind of like go over the edge of that boundary. All right. Let me know if that makes sense. I know that one's a lot. That was just all number 5, but I feel like that's so crucial. Okay. Number 6. Plan a vacation or some other kind of break that's for the future. So some people love to travel. So for them, like if you love to travel, plan a vacation. I think that's huge, right? Something and plan it. Like don't be like, oh, I'm going to go away like this weekend, like, because you're losing all the excitement and anticipation when you just do it this weekend. Okay. Not that that's bad, but if you can have something that's long term that you're looking forward to, that will really help you with burnout, because you know that is a set scheduled time where you're going to be recharging. You're going to be disconnecting from work. You're going to be spending time with either friends or family or yourself even. So it's really important. And if it's not a vacation, like not everybody loves to travel, or with your family dynamic, it might be difficult. I know right now with my kids' ages, actually going on vacation adds stress in my life a lot of times, because there's just so much involved, right? Like all the packing and all that. That could be a whole nother life. And I like it, but it's not always like a recharge. For me, it's like I come home from vacation and I need to recharge. So for me, instead, it would be something like I'm going to plan like a spa day, or I'm going to plan like to get a pedi, or I'm going to plan to grab, to just have like a day with one of like my girlfriends where we like just hang out and grab lunch or whatever, go to the beach, whatever it is. So some kind of future break that's exciting, that's not like something you do weekly, like something a little bit out of the norm, right? But have that to look forward to. Okay. My number 7 is to make sleep a priority. Okay. Because really the true way we recharge, and this is the way I explain it. I tell my 6-year-olds this all the time, because they'll wake up at like 5 a.m. and I'm like, oh, you didn't recharge your battery. Or like, they love cars and trucks. So I'm like, oh, your engine's not going to run today. So it's it's actually like totally true. Like, yes, I'm using that as a metaphor for them to be like, stay in bed so I can sleep longer. But it is true. Like, they're going to be monsters all day if they don't get that sleep, right? And it's the same with us. If we're not making sleep a priority, then that's going to bleed into everything. It makes everything feel worse. So you have, you have something that happened with your business that feels a little overwhelming. If you're lacking sleep, boom, it's even worse, right? Everything's always worse when you're tired. So maybe that means that you need to practice some better sleeping habits. I know a lot of them because sleep is something that I struggle with. I'm not a great sleeper. I'm a very light sleeper. And if I wake up in the night, it's very hard for me to get back. So I have a lot of tips there. Reach out to me if you need any about sleep. Or maybe that means taking a nap, like scheduling a nap during your day. Okay, there's nothing wrong with naps. Our society, like, we think like, oh, like when you're a kid you nap. Like in college a lot of us took naps, but that's because maybe we're going out and partying, right? Well, guess what? As adults, we're older now. We have even more responsibilities and more things. Naps are good. Naps are good for you. A lot of cultures embrace the nap. I don't feel like we do, but if that's something that works for you, embrace the nap. Okay, let me say, I see a few comments here. Kiana, yes, vacation is good. I'll be in a huge, ooh, you're going to an island? For business and vacation, that's a good one. Yes. Yeah, if it's a mix with business, that's good too. As long as it's something that's not going to add stress. If it is, then yeah, you're going to go on the trip, but maybe plan something else like that, like a special day, like we were saying, where it's, no, but not business related. Yes, sleep. Hold on. I lost yeah. Sleep is awesome and you have great focus the next day. 100%. Yep. It totally changes your brain power. Vacation and sleep are both great reminders. Absolutely. Yep. And they're totally doable because there are some things out there for like recharging that you will read and you'll be like, I can't do that. I'm running my own business, right? You can sleep. Like, you can sleep, okay? You can plan a vacation. And if you're thinking, oh, I can't be away from my business for more than a day, okay, fine. If you really feel that way and that's just going to add more stress for you, then you take that one day like mini vacay where you do something, okay? Like a spa day or just something that's to disconnect where you're literally not checking anything about work, okay? Awesome. Number 8. Ditching technology or practicing a tech detox. Okay, so this is another one where a lot of my clients like protest because it doesn't feel good for many reasons. We like to say it's because of our business, right? But let's just say for a second, if you didn't have a business, you probably still, I'm guessing, but probably still wouldn't want to like give up your phone for the day because we are hooked to our phones. It's just the way we are. It's like, love it or not, like that's the way it is, right? So growing up, we managed just fine. I was actually explaining to my niece the other day, who's 12, and she was like, I was like, do you know that we used to have to say like, I'll meet you at the mall to a friend. And if they were running like a half an hour late, we would just have to sit there. We wouldn't know they were running late. We wouldn't know if they're still coming. We would just sit by the fountain and just have to keep waiting. And she was like blown away by that. But anyways, I digress. So technology is something that obviously like adds to our burnout. You can't ditch it all the time. There's something I shared within the Facebook community. I think it was last week. A really great technology detox that from a book that I think I also shared like the title of the book. It's called The 4 Pillars of Health, and it's just like amazing. And it has like a step-by-step Monday through Friday what you can do to like literally detox from technology. And this is a doctor writing it, and he admits that he has on-call weekends, so he can't completely. So he understands like the responsibilities, the high level of responsibility that like an entrepreneur would have. His are, some may argue, even higher because like people's health, right? Because he's on call as a surgeon. So, but you can still do it. You can still take where you are right now with technology and bring it down a level. Okay, everyone can do it in one way, shape, or form. So check out that graphic that I posted earlier this week. Number 9 is to find a hobby that you like and that like allows your mind to just drift. Okay, maybe it's cooking, maybe it's singing, maybe it's dancing, maybe it's yoga, whatever it is. I like to color. I'm like one of those weird, like I have adult coloring books. I love art. I was never good at it, but I just love it, right? So finding a hobby is a great way for an entrepreneur because it's not like this huge time. You can devote like 10 minutes to, just cook something or do some kind of like baking or whatever, throw it in, and now you're back to work. Number 10 is to practice deliberate breathing, okay, or guided meditation in a way. Breathing is so critical. I was actually just talking to a friend this morning about this, and she's she works in the food allergy space, and she was talking about how there's a oh gosh, some type of nutritionist, but it's more specific. I forget that she was talking to, and about how breathing is has such an impact on us that we don't recognize. So even just deliberate breathing, and there's a bunch of phone apps you can get that help you if you're not like sure how to do the deliberate breathing. And there's a bunch of quick little methods that helps you to recharge, and it's quick. Okay, we can't say we're too busy for that. That can be quick. Okay. 11 would be to get some physical, or like whether it be exercise or just something active. So it could be exercise, sports, a walk, playing with your kids, something to get up and get moving, get the blood flowing. That's really important, because as an entrepreneur, you might be sitting at your computer a lot, or you might be, on your phone a lot. It's just really important to like get that body moving again, so that not only is that good physically, but mentally, that helps to alleviate or prevent burnout. Okay, and then number 12 is to read or listen. So what I mean by listen would be like audiobooks. I'm a listener. I'm not really a big reader, because I like to listen and maybe do laundry or whatever. I find that decreases stress. But if you want to like devote full attention and read a book or listen, that's great. Try to I read a lot, I listen a lot to things regarding business, but you also want to make sure that you have some kind of outlet that's not business related. Because if you're listening to an audiobook about business, even though you're not working specifically on your business, you're not fully disconnected, because your mind is running rampant like, oh, I should be doing that, or I should be doing that, or I didn't do that right, or oh, that reminds me, I forgot last week to do that. So you're not fully recharging, and if that makes sense. Or watch it like a guilty pleasure show, right? I do want to caution people, like some people to detox will like hop on Netflix, and just be careful, because it's so easy to like binge, as we all know, on Netflix, and like emerge like 2 weeks later from like a Netflix stupor. So just a little words of caution on that. All right. So those are 12 ways that we can all, as business owners, our business will not suffer. Actually, quite the opposite. Our business will flourish, because we will be recharged. We will feel passionate still, right? And it's just really important. So I'm just going to give you a couple of action items, just two, okay? So because we talked about how unplugging is so crucial to avoiding burnout and other health problems, etc., I want you to take your journal, or if you don't have one, a little piece of paper, and write down how it feels when I tell you that you need to like unplug or recharge. Does it feel scary? Does it feel like, do you feel pushback? Because a lot of entrepreneurs do. There's a lot of fear around that. Like, what will happen if I take a step back? Okay, so how do you feel about that? And how do you currently do it? So I want you to like write those two things in your journal. How does it make you feel? Just even the thought. Does it feel great? Is it like, oh, a relief? Or like, oh, I need to do that more? Or does it feel like, no, I can't do that. Like things will, if I'm not there in the trenches every moment of the day, things are going to fall apart, right? So let me know, and then how you're currently doing it. And then I want you to choose at least two of the suggestions that we were just talking about, and I want you to implement them this week. Okay, not next week. Not like, oh yeah, I should do that, right? This week. I want you to make it like your goal for this week to implement those two unplugging suggestions, okay? Because even just doing it just this week, it's going to make a huge impact. And then when you see the results, when you feel the impact, then you're going to want to keep doing it, okay? Yay! Okay, what did you say? I got a couple of comments in here. So there's a vacation. Yep. Thanks for confirming the importance of, oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, sometimes it's almost like we feel like we need someone to grant us the permission, especially as entrepreneurs. Like sometimes there's a lot of inner guilt that we battle with, right? And it's like you need the permission to be told to relax. Like when you were working for a boss, you maybe were working on a project and the boss might have been like, oh, why don't you like head home early tonight? Or like, oh, why don't you go grab some lunch? Or like, oh, you want to come? And that was like, oh, okay, yeah, I have permission. Well, when you're working for yourself, or you have a team you're supporting, right? A lot of times that level of responsibility and that weight you feel like you need permission, and then you feel guilt, right? So I want to remove that, because what you should recognize is this isn't something you need to feel guilty about, because if you don't do it, then your business will suffer. Okay, try to make that connection. If I don't practice not just self-care, but like disconnecting from business every now and then, right? If I don't practice that, my business is going to suffer. My relationships are going to suffer. My health is going to suffer. My personal life as a whole, my whole life is going to suffer. Okay, so if you just remind yourself that, hopefully it will alleviate that need for permission or any feelings of guilt that could accompany you just taking a step back. All right, yay. Okay, this is so fun. I don't want to take up too much time because in the whole essence of today's live, it's about making sure that you unplug. So we just did this. Maybe right now, take like 20 minutes, go for a walk around your neighborhood, whatever it is. It's kind of nice out near me. It's like a little bit cool all of a sudden. I guess it really is fall. All right, awesome. And as always, if you want to hop on a call to discuss any money mindset blocks you're having, any pricing model questions that you have, or you need help organizing, whether it be your finances or your systems, anything that you feel like, gosh, she could really help me because numbers are not my thing, or because I haven't really dedicated a lot of time to looking at the financial aspect of my business. I'm busy. I want to like focus my time on other things. Hop on a call with me. We'll chat, it'll be about an hour, and you'll walk away with clarity on what to do next. And one of my favorite things to do is problem solve. If you feel like you have a problem right now in your business, I want to help you solve it. Okay, so I will put the link in the comments to all of my stuff. And I also want to remind you that next week I'm not going to be doing a live. I'm going to be dropping something like exciting next week, but it's not going to be a Facebook Live, and then the following week it will be. I am going to be changing the times of the live because of just my fall schedule and everything. I'm going to be doing Wednesday evenings. So it's going to be, I haven't fully decided exactly when, but I think it's going to be Wednesday around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is what I'm going to be switching to. So hopefully that works for y'all. And all of a sudden I'm Southern, for y'all. And I like that. I'm going to start using it. And if it doesn't, you can always still catch the replay. All right. So those are some changes. So next week there won't be a live, but there's going to be a special little announcement that I'll probably drop live. And then the following week, there'll be a live training again, but it will be at a different time. So it'll be Wednesday evenings instead. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Please, please, please make sure to unplug this week, right? Take those at least two suggestions and implement them this week. I guarantee you will feel so much better, and your business is going to feel like a boost. Okay. All right. Bye, guys.